This is episode number 189. I'm talking about 3 marketing lessons from ISIS. Yes, the militant Islamic organization. They're great at marketing, and that is coming up.
This is the Red Podcast. How to take your idea and make a name for yourself within your industry and beyond. Spread your message. Attract a following. Rise above the noise. Here's your host, David Hooper.
Hey, can we talk about stereotypes for a minute? You know how Hey, just kidding. Got a little nervous there, didn't you? I want to talk about stereotypes for white, middle-aged men, such as myself. There are 2 things about us that you need to know. 1, we love Costco. And 2, when we get in our cars, NPR is one of the presets. And recently on NPR, it's pretty interesting coverage of ISIS. I heard a Planet Money episode, and this is available via podcast. Planet Money episode number 667, if you're interested in this topic. They talked about the budget for ISIS. If you haven't been keeping up with the news, ISIS, not only a goddess, but also a militant Islamic organization, and they've got a budget. Talked about how they work, how the money goes in, how the money goes out, and if you're interested in that, Planet Money is the podcast. Episode number 667 is the one you want to listen to. And that episode got me thinking about marketing lessons from ISIS. You know, they've done a great job of recruiting people. Just a few years ago, nobody knew who ISIS was. We had other terrorist organizations to worry about, but now, ISIS. They're getting all the attention. So how do they do it? And more importantly, how can you do something very similar with your business? Not the blowing people up, beheading people. Don't do that. But positive things. What are the marketing lessons that you can learn from ISIS? That's what I'm talking about on this episode of Red. This is the Red Podcast, the podcast for influencers. If you're a blogger, podcaster, speaker, marketer, nonfiction author, or entrepreneur, this is the podcast for you. The topics that I talk about, things like book publishing, podcasting, speaking, and other marketing elements of your business that you must master to make a name for yourself. The focus, that's really what this is about, making a name for yourself, but it's how to take your idea, spread that idea, and make money with that idea. The name for yourself, that just emerges. And I'm going to talk about how ISIS has done that, 3 marketing lessons from ISIS. One of the things that I thought was interesting when researching this is that ISIS is targeting women. Now, they don't allow women to fight, which is one way to target women. It's kind of a cushier job, maybe. You're not going to get blown up. But the exact promise that they make, it's not that you don't have to fight, it's the promise of a devout husband. Now, this is something that I've learned from the music industry, and that's when women are happy, men are happy. ISIS goes so far to keep their women happy. They've got an ISIS marriage center. This sounds like something out of The Onion, but it is not. ISIS has a marriage center. If you are a female, they will hook you up with a jihadist. When you get married, they will even send you on a free honeymoon. Now, they're limited on the places that they can send you. Syria is one of those places. If you're interested, ISIS Marriage Center, look it up in Google. But this is a true thing. And the big lesson here is that men will go where the women go. By targeting women, they're bringing in men. This is something that you've probably seen if you've ever been to a bar, a nightclub, ladies' night. Ladies drink free, no cover for ladies, drink specials for ladies. Why would a bar or a nightclub do that? Well, when you've got a bar or a nightclub full of women, men follow. People are lonely. People want more than just your product. And this is a circular situation here. If you target the women, the men come. But if the men are there, the women are happy. So think about that. People want more than just your product. People are lonely. This is something that I don't think that I've talked about on the podcast, but over the last 20 years, actually 21 years, is when I first started my music marketing business, I've done a lot of things. And one of those things, something that I was looking at, was to open up a dance studio and then franchise that. I wasn't going to go to like Fred Astaire and take a franchise that already existed, but I wanted to create a dance studio and then franchise that concept. And one of the things that I learned in my research of dance studios, I used to dance, by the way, and that's how I got involved with this. I was also dating a dancer, and long story, but if we're ever at a wedding together and you need a dance partner, I'm happy to lead you. So anyway, being around dancers, being around music, performances, concerts, the other business interests that I've been involved in, I got to see the inside of that business. And one of the things that I noticed at the dance studios was that people were not there because they wanted to dance. Dancing was a means to get what they wanted. And what people wanted when they went into a dance studio, 9 times out of 10, women, if they were there, they wanted to feel beautiful. They wanted to have somebody pay attention to them. Men, they were there for self-confidence, to get more contact with women so they could have contact outside of the dance studio. Men don't like to dance. Women, a little more so, but they really just wanted somebody to pay attention to them. That's big lesson number 1. People are lonely. People want others to pay attention to them, to validate them. And that's one of ISIS's biggest recruiting tools. They say, you're valid. You matter. We're going to pay attention to you. And at the ISIS Marriage Center, we're even going to get you a devout husband, a devout wife. We'll even send you on a honeymoon on us. We'll pay for it. That's lesson number 1. People are lonely. And if you can bring an aspect of connecting people into your business, it's a great recruiting tool. Number 2, this is a related marketing tool that is used by ISIS. And really, also dance studios, Alcoholics Anonymous uses this, strip clubs use this. Preying on loneliness by giving instant affiliation. Let's take a look at Alcoholics Anonymous. If you know somebody that's been in a 12-step program, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, being in music, believe me, I know a lot of people that have been through these programs. And I think they're good programs. I'm not picking on them. Something that happens when somebody joins a program like Alcoholics Anonymous, 9 times out of 10, you've got somebody where things are a little bit out of control. They're self-medicating, drugs, drinking, sex, overeating, whatever their drug of choice is. And when they join a 12-step program, that gives them instant affiliation with a new group, somebody who understands them, somebody who accepts them. ISIS is no different. Any conference that you've ever been to has likely used this technique. Most conferences, you're not really there for the speaker. You're there to connect with other people that you know, other people that are just like you. And what it gives you is a feeling that you are not the only one. Lets you meet your peers. Think about somebody who has a problem with alcohol. Because in our culture, we have programs like AA. On one hand, that person knows that he's not the only one who's ever had a problem with alcohol. But at the same time, he's there alone, doesn't know anybody, has isolated everybody else, and he is alone. That's the loneliest place that you can be. But when he goes to AA, instant affiliation. They've got meetings every day at multiple locations throughout your city, throughout the country, throughout the world, and you've got this instant group of people who get you. What do you think ISIS is? An instant group of people who get you. You're frustrated because people have invaded your country. You're frustrated because you lost your job. You're frustrated because you can't find a woman because all the good women are going to the West. They're being corrupted by pop culture, television, film, music. It's instant access to people who think like you. That's the number 2 marketing trick from ISIS that you can use in your business. Preying on loneliness by giving instant affiliation. Sounds a little predatory, doesn't it? Just wait. Just wait. Let me get to number 3. Number 3 is the promise of ease. And we can talk about this economically because that's an easy way to look at it. This is why people fall for the Nigerian 419 scams. The ones where you get email out of the blue from a prince who's inherited a lot of money but somehow can't get it inside the U.S. and needs your help to do that. There are various versions of this. You're probably familiar with them. You've probably gotten a lot of emails about these. The promise of ease is why people get into multi-level marketing. If you've ever been to an Amway meeting, something equivalent, if you've ever looked at a network marketing or multi-level marketing ad, they don't talk about the rejection that you're going to get. Talking about how you have to call your friends and annoy them. Well, they don't take your calls anymore, don't even want to see you anymore. They walk down the street when you show up because you're talking about your multi-level marketing opportunity. They don't talk about that. The promise of ease is what they talk about. They've got a guy sitting on the beach. He's got a hollowed out pineapple, a hollowed out coconut, a straw, and one of those tiny little umbrellas sticking out of it. That's what they talk about. Sun, fun, yachts, mansions, nice cars. The promise of ease. This is why we have porn. If you're wondering, why would a woman do that? The promise of ease, easy money. Maybe easy drugs. That's why we've got drugs, the promise of ease. That's why America's got a pill problem. Take this pill, your problem's over. That's why the gang business is hot, the promise of ease. And I'm not saying these businesses are easy or these people are lazy. It's just the fact that there's an opportunity for ease. There's money in porn. There's money in drugs. There's money in gang business. There's money in ISIS. And if you can show people in your business that you have ease when they take your course, when they listen to your podcast, when they follow your teachings, read your book, watch your television show, watch your YouTube videos, you can promise an easier life. That's big. That's how you grow an audience. So to review these three big lessons, let's talk about what these things would look like in your business. The cure for loneliness. Think of it like this. People aren't going to a bar just for beer. They wanted beer. There are cheaper and easier ways to get it. People get in a car, fight traffic, go to a bar. Because the people there, because they're lonely. What kind of cure for loneliness can you offer? Do you have a community around your product, a community around your book? This goes wide. Community isn't just when a bunch of people get in a room, not now. Social media. Imagine if you have this book, and your book, let's say, is about quitting your job. You want to build a community around that. An example of somebody who's done this, actually with a Quit Your Job book, The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss, he's got an army of people that want to work 4 hours a week. And if you think about those people, they're frustrated. They're looking for that ease. And they want to know that they're not the only people that hate working a job. You're providing a cure for loneliness, even if the solution that you're promising isn't as easy as you're making it seem. Instant affiliation. You've got a place to go. 4-Hour Workweek people, you got the Facebook group, you've got meetups, you've got conferences. It's an instant affiliation. You can put a name on it. This is why I mentioned Alcoholics Anonymous, because if you've ever known somebody who's been in Alcoholics Anonymous, they're going to let you know. Not all of them, but some of them. Pulling out the chip, explaining that they've got a meeting, can't hang out with you anymore. They got their people now. Instant affiliation. You know how there are different levels of grief that you go through? First is denial, and maybe there's acceptance, and you move forward. Well, there are different stages of affiliation. And when somebody first gets in AA, they first find Jesus, they're going to a new church, this is what I call the gay pride stage. That's because, you've probably known somebody who's like this, when somebody first comes out of the closet, that's when they're joining the gay softball team, wearing the rainbow bracelets, wearing the rainbow necklaces, listening to the Pet Shop Boys, the gay pride stage. You don't have to be gay to go through the gay pride stage. Works for Alcoholics Anonymous, church, and it can work for you. Instant affiliation, giving somebody a place to go. And number 3, ease, especially with money, but also with meeting people. And you can see how all 3 of these things connect and intersect. Cure for loneliness, instant affiliation, and ease. Now, I talked about predatory marketing. Some of this seems a little predatory. I'm going to read you something. This came from an extremist organization very similar to ISIS. These are the 10 most receptive groups, the people that you can get to join your group, and it will work for you. Number 1, close friends or relatives of new converts. Number 2, people going through relationship problems, especially a divorce. Number 3, those who feel a need for a recovery program. That means alcohol, drugs, anything sexual. Somebody who's lost. Somebody who feels a need to get off that train. The terminally ill and their families, people who are dying, or people who have people who are dying. They're wondering what's next, what's beyond this life. Easy converts. Couples with major marriage problems. You want to get a 2-for-1? You're not divorced, but you're headed that way. Couples with major marriage problems. This is the solution you're providing. Easy to convert. Parents with problem children. Maybe it's your fault. The world's gone to hell in a handbasket, and you've let your kids out into the world. Well, convert to this. We will solve the problem for you. Parents with problem children, easy to convert. And also, the recently unemployed or those with major job problems, financial distress. Now, I'm just joking. Some people would say that this is an extremist group, but that list, and I've got the full list. It's on the website. redpodcast.com/189 has it. That list was from a book called The Purpose-Driven Church. Rick Warren is the author. You probably know him from The Purpose-Driven Life. This is his marketing book that explains how to grow a church. And even if you're not in the business of church, this is an incredible book that talks about how to grow an organization. If you want to find out about this, you can't just look in your own niche. That's why I'm looking at ISIS. That's why I'm looking at the church. Huge organizations with big memberships. And not only big memberships, but very enthusiastic memberships. Got to look to those, even if it's not your niche. That's why I go for so many different industries here on Red Podcast. So many different types of podcasts, authors, speakers, people who are in the influence business. Maybe nothing to do with you, maybe nothing to do with me, but these are the people that we can learn from. Rick Warren, The Purpose-Driven Church. That was his list of the 10 most receptive groups to join his church. Predatory? You be the judge. Would love to hear your comments. Reach out to me. At David Hooper on Twitter is how to do that. As always, you can also get me through the website. redpodcast.com is the website. There you will find how to subscribe to Red Podcast so you never miss an episode. It's easy. One click. Get you subscribed on iTunes. Get your Android subscribed. However you listen to podcasts, one click. And it's done at Red Podcast. Hey, the next episode, I'm going to talk to you about my midlife crisis. Talked earlier about being middle-aged, loving Costco, loving NPR. It's true. And also what comes with that, the midlife crisis. I've broken through it. I'm on the other side. I'm going to talk about it because it's affected my business in a big way, and I feel that it's going to help you in your business. That's next on Red Podcast. Again, redpodcast.com will get you subscribed to make sure you never miss an episode. If you've got questions, you've got comments, reach out at David Hooper on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening to Red Podcast. I'll see you on the next episode.
You've been listening to Red Podcast, the marketing podcast for influencers. Never miss an episode. Subscribe now with your iPhone, Android, or via RSS at redpodcast.com.